Right. Hi, I'm Jamie from Sci-Fi-Vision. Thanks for talking to me. Appreciate it. Really enjoyed the series. Very funny. Stayed up late last night watching it, laughing. So I
Nice.
enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you.
To start off, for the people who haven't seen it, why don't you each talk about the character you play?
All right. So,
Yeah.
I'll go first. I'm Sindhu Vee and I play Sudha Pradeep, who is the mother of the family. She's also a neurosurgeon, okay? And that's really important that everyone remember that at all times, because that means she's smarter than most people in the room or all people in the room all the time. And she has been put in a situation not of her choosing, but she still has to be the person who keeps her family safe and on the straight and narrow. And that's what she's doing. That's it.
All right, what about you?
I'm Sahana. I play Bhanu Pradeep, who is not immediately is compared to her brothers, I think she's a bit more ambivalent about moving here. She doesn't know yet. Um, but then shortly like realizes that she could sort of reinvent herself in this completely new country. And also uh, doesn't really feel understood by her parents or her siblings, so finds connections in other places that kind of get her into a lot of trouble. That sort of serves as the catalyst for some crazy stuff happening in the show.
What for both of you? What was the prep like? I guess especially for you, Sindhu, because you, like you said, you play a neurosurgeon. So did you do any research into that or anything like that?
Yes, there was a couple of scenes that required me to do things that I think a neurosurgeon would do in a very specific way. And so before I went out to do the show, I have a friend who is a surgeon, and I went and spent some time with him, and didn't want to give away too much, but it was kind of hard. And then he was like, "Are you trying to? What do you is this?" So I spent half a day with him, just getting the lingo and also how you do certain things, because it was very important. I think when you're doing a comedy, you can either go absurdist, but the story is very authentic. It's very real, and I thought it was really important that I wanted everyone to believe and appreciate that Sudha is a neurosurgeon. It can't be a comedy thing. She is. It's hard.
Yeah.
I basically wanted everyone to think I was great or that Sudha was great. So I wanted to get those bits of the show right. And so I did spend a little bit of time with him. Yeah.
All right. What about for you? Obviously, you didn't have this quite the same issue, but what was the prep like for you?
Yeah, I feel like I just kind of remembered how I felt when I was a teen, as like a person of color in an American school, especially in Texas, where I look around and I'm like there are barely any people who look like me, especially not doing, I started pursuing acting and theater and stuff when I was young, and that was not a field where I saw a lot of South Asian people. And I feel really grateful for my parents kind of encouraging me to go into that field. Um, but I definitely felt like a fish out of water, and that's how Banu feels too. I'm sure that she had a lot of friends and was extremely popular in India and felt understood, and everyone spoke the same language. And now all of that is uprooted, and it's like she has no control over it. And so the natural instinct is to rebel and kind of go cuckoo and kind of do whatever she wants, you know?
Like she has a good time with it though. She
Yeah,
seems
for sure. Yeah, she kind of feels like, oh, I'm in America. I can kind of do whatever I want. I can do things that I felt like I wasn't allowed to do when I was in India.
Was there anything like what was did you find, I guess, the easiest and the hardest to connect with? I know your character's kind of vindictive, not just kind of, she is vindictive. But what parts did you connect easy with, I guess, and was it hard to connect with that part of her?
Not at all. It was not hard at all. Because I also fundamentally believe that when you're the person in charge, which she is, you have to do whatever it takes to win. Otherwise, your family is not going to be safe. So I didn't have any problem. I had no problem connecting with 99% of Sudha. Honestly, I, I'm just saying and I'm not saying 100 because nothing is perfect. So we'll leave 1% out. I had no problem at all. Um, yeah, she's a very liberal person in a lot of ways. And, she's not a stereotypical old-fashioned Indian mom that we all see, in some shows, and we're like, who just wants her kids to get A's. And, she's saying vagina and anus and talking about this and that. She's like a regular person that way.
Yeah.
So
I get that. What about for you?
Yes, of course. Banu, it's interesting. I think when I was Banu's age, I felt I was a bit more awkward, I think, and very people pleasing. And I don't find that as much in Banu. Banu's very like a bit more confident and self-assured. There were moments when I also felt that way. I think it was mostly when I was performing is when I felt the most confident. Um, but especially, I don't think if I was Banu, like moving to America at that time, I don't think I'd be nearly as confident and opinionated. And so it was kind of fun to play someone who I didn't really relate to, it kind of this idealized version of myself. Like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I got to say whatever I want as a teen? I think that really excited me about her.
I think everybody wants to do that at one point or another.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you both so much. I appreciate it. I really did enjoy the show. So thank you. Have a good
Thank you.
rest of your day.